Welcome, friends, to the Soul Talk podcast, a show where we explore and uncover the path to the heart, amplifying your conscience. Join me as we meet incredible souls who are in this journey and learn from their experience and different methods that will make you vibrate your heart. Let's get into it. Hi, everyone. This is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love. And today we're going to be talking about the judgments and the mirrors, and how we can apply this to our own responsibility so we can give that jump. In the Maya times, they have a god that it was called Tlatzlipoca, and that's part of my culture. And what that means in that way for the Mayas and so forth, and why I'm bringing it out. Well, because they used to think that this life, it was just an illusion. It was just a mirrors. They used to call them. So they were talking about the that we live in a simulated reality, all of us. That I'm gonna be sharing with you, in fact, a video about how you can understand the simulated reality that we live in. Because in this world, we have created this collective reality that we all live in. Remember, through your thoughts and your emotions, you create a reality. But as a collective, as human beings, we tend to create this reality. We have wars, we have presidents, we have governments, we have everything that we see. It is created by all of us. So if we wanted to change that, we have to start from within. We cannot change it from outside. It has to go from within. And believe me, this is very well related to what we're going to be talking today. So I'm going to be bringing you something that I have found a very good example, visual example, that it comes from the Star Trek, that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, because it's don't think that I'm going to play it all, but I believe this is important. So like that, you can have an idea how it works as simulated reality. Well, if you actually observe in there, in this computer have created this reality where the one who programmed it, it was by the Delta, the kind of humanoid in there, and he created that place, that forest. So it is like that. In a way, we are creating our reality through programs that we are all in. That it is very possible that we're living in a reality that we choose to live, all of us. So, okay, the judgment, let's talk about now about the judgment, because it is very intricate with this. The judgment of often comes out when we feel fearful, when we feel lonely, when we feel regretful, when we are experiencing a variety of negative thoughts. So I will invite you to do a check-in into all that, because that's when we tend to judge more. The judgment is also a resilient enforcement of a perfection. What that means, that we all try to be perfect. We all try to please others and to please our families, because that is ingrained in ourselves, the competition, the envy, and the perfection. We had it in schools. That's why they give us grades, 100, a A, or a little star when we were in kindergarten, because we were searching for that perfection. The problem is, it don't stop in kindergarten. It don't stop when we stop going to school. It continue the rest of our lives. So, and we tend to judge ourselves in that perfection, that if we don't did completely right, and not only ourselves, we tend to judge also others, because we're searching for that perfection. But in the way how we live our lives, not necessarily has to be the same way that others are going to live their lives at the same time. Let's say if I do spaghetti in certain form, I expect everybody to do the spaghetti in the same way as I do. And that is not true. You have tried Mexican spaghetti, it is very different than Italian spaghetti. Even it's a spaghetti the same, but I cannot judge how the Italians do it as a difference as Mexican do it, or another culture do it, or the Orientals do it. It is a very different way. And there is not a wrong or a right. They're just different. And that it is okay. So I invite you to think in that, because the perfection, what it is in reality, perfection for you, because for me, what it is perfection, it might not be perfection for you. If I see a beautiful flower with all the petals and so forth, am I searching, but why I don't have more petals? Why it is not more brilliant colors? Why it is not bigger? Or the flower, it is just perfect as it is, with the color that it has and with the petals that it have. So when we're searching for perfection, we're never going to obtain it, because there's always something in there that we're going to judge. So when we're searching also for that perfection, that also opened the door for a big rejection of ourselves and others. Because like I mentioned about the flower, if we can imagine that why don't have more petals, or one petal fall down and that's why the flower is not perfect, that is a rejection of that pure flower. But we do that to ourselves, we do that to our kids, we do that to our best friends, we do that to other people searching for that perfection. And the reality is that it's already perfect, but our mind, our ego is not letting us observe that perfection that it already is. And searching for that perfection take us to a vicious cycle that is always gonna make us reject the reality that we're living in, the what we have, and we're thinking like the grass is greener in the with the neighbors and not with us. We're always going to be searching for that rejection to ourselves or to others. Or you're narcissist, you will say, oh, my grass is greener and the neighbors are not never going to be, because that's what a narcissist thinks. They have the grandiosity. That's part of the symptoms of being a narcissist. So observe when you are rejecting something, that you're doing it because you're not achieving that full perfection, or when you're uh, rejecting someone at the same time because they're not thinking like you, they're not acting like you. So you're rejecting someone. That it is possible that we can control someone so much that we don't let them even breathe and be themselves. How we're even gonna grow? We came here into this plane to grow and expand, to learn about love and unconditional love and so forth. But how we're gonna even achieve that when we're in the permanent search of that perfection, when we're not accepting other ones as they are, because they are perfect as they already are. So one of the best ways that I have found to stop having this internal search for judging, it is, at least to myself, it was accepting me exactly as I want, as I am. Yes, I know I have a tons of defects. I'm not perfect. I'm human. But I accept who I am. Yes, I'm 5'1". And yes, I might not have the greatest body in the world. And yes, I may have white hairs and so forth. But you know what? Every single wrinkle is teaching me that maybe I open my eyes much, or I smile too much, or I'm 55 and I'm proud of it. I don't want to be younger. I don't want to be in my 20s anymore. I enjoy my 55. and I enjoy who I am. But now that I accept myself, now that I know and I honor and respect myself, I can get out of the game of the ego of the judgment. If I continue in the judgment and searching for that perfection, I'm going to continue in the rat race because that is going to be until I choose different. Because it's not going to be forever, but at least until I choose different. So if I'm judging someone, it is under that program that the society tell you that that person needs to wear this a skirt, not a blue jeans. Remember when the women could not wear blue jeans or pants? They only can wear skirts. And a woman that wears skirts, oh my God, she was a slutty because she was wearing pants. And oh, women should wear long skirts. That was part of the society norms then. Now it's different. Now we can wear blue jeans and now we can wear tight, very tight jeans if we want. But searching for that perfection in the part and the norms of the society in the moment, that's where it comes our limitations. A lot of our limitations. In the old times, women could not vote, could not drive, women could not have male friends. You know, it was a lot of restrictions, and the woman that has male friends or that drive, in some countries they still kill them because they cannot get out of the house without their husband, or they have to be covered the whole mouth and everything because or else and how they're gonna go to school. Remember, they still happen in some countries into this day because they haven't expanded their conscience. But we live in the Western world, and in the Western world we have accepted all that, except we still have many, many rules that what we judge others. So we're gonna break those two today. Because in the moment you wanted to really feel free, really overcome all this, well, you need to stop observing or caring about what other people think about you. Because in reality, when someone is judging you or criticizing you, it is a mirror reflection of themselves. They can't see it on you because we're going to be talking about why is it all the why we judge. But in reality, they can see it on you. It is because they are judging themselves. Let's say if we go back to time when the women were only wearing cannot wear blue jeans, they only can wear skirts or dresses. And you see a woman that it is wearing blue jeans and she looks very comfortable, or jeans or whatever, any pants. So, and they look very comfortable. You're going to judge them. How dare she is going against the rules of the society. And you start judging her. She have to be a prostitute or she have to be the lowest kind of women. That's how society saw them. And if we wanted to remove that, we have to observe why we're judging that person because that doesn't make us free. The woman in that time that was wearing blue jeans, it was her choice. And she was happy not caring what other people would think, what she was wearing or not. So we need to go back to ourselves and think in those things that we judge others. So, or what we're judging ourselves, because probably we're not free completely. And that's why we're judging the other person that is in that time that was wearing the blue jeans. This is just an example, of course. Why people judge? The people judge themselves because they cannot observe, they can observe the defects on others, but they're too afraid to look into themselves. Let's say okay, something that I can judge. I want to give you an example so like that you have something tangible with you. Okay, if I judge someone that is it is it's a tough one. Um I was thinking of never cooking, ever. Just buying food all the time and never cooking. And I want to judge that person because of that. It's not an envy of my part, probably, that there are many times that I don't want to cook. I just wanted to buy the food. But obviously the economy and so forth that I have to cook every day, or maybe my son can cook, but I would judge that woman because she goes to a restaurant every day of her life, 365 days a day. But that's my envy in a way because she can afford it and I can't. So thinking those things before you judge someone. And then in my ancestors, I used to call the Tlaxipoca the mirror image. We were trying to precisely, it is a mirror image of ourselves. That's why I can see that woman and feel even envy because she have the money to go to a restaurant 365 days of the year. You know what I mean? And that's why I can see it. But if I was going every day to a restaurant, or at least 4 or 5 days a week to a restaurant to eat whatever I wanted, I would not even judge her because I wouldn't, why would I compare myself? But my envy, that is my ego, it is going to mark it if I am observing it in someone else that she's eating 365 days in a restaurant. You know what I mean? So we have to let go of who you think you're supposed to be. Because remember that many of the things when we're going to be working on identity, and this has to do with identity a little bit, because we are where we're supposed to be according to our parents, according to the society, according to religions, according to someone else. So if you want to become free and know who you truly are, you need to let go who you're supposed to be and start being who you truly are. And that's one way to stop judging others. Because many times we judge because we are looking for allies. So let's get all together and let's just judge that woman that is wearing blue jeans and that goes to the restaurant every day. And like that, I have a bunch of allies and all this society, the small society that we have created, we can judge that person that is wearing blue jeans and is going to the restaurant every day. You know what I mean? So that it is basically something of the things that you have to understand and observe in yourself. So like that you can become free. Because more that you stop judging others, you're starting to become free. Now, if we observe ourselves and listen to our own thoughts, that's where the ego comes, we become witness in how we treat ourselves. I'm never gonna wear jeans because the people are gonna talk bad about me. But in reality, I do wanna wear the jeans. Or I'm never gonna be eating in a restaurant every day. How dare that woman use it? But in reality, I envy him because I don't wanna be cooking every day. And so I'm just projecting myself into someone else and looking for allies. So like that, we all together can judge her and I feel bigger than I am. Because if I go only one person to tell her, how dare you go and eat every day in the restaurant, she might tell you, well, it's not your business. You're not paying for my meals. What do you give it? Why you care? But if I go with 10 people that we all go and tell her, we're going to do an intervention with you and tell you you should not be eating in a restaurant, that person is going to feel intimidated, you know, and probably she's going to stay quiet or start crying or something because now I have a team of 10 people. So look when you're looking for allies to judging others. Because as human beings, we tend to look for allies when we're mad, when we're judging, when we feel inferior. Because it is not a superiority thing, it is an inferiority thing. So when we are aware of that inner voice that we have in our head, that inner voice in reality, it is trying to control you. And you're trying to control others in that search for that perfection. So I want you to, and we go, all of us as human beings, as a race, we go into freeze, flight, or fight mode. And we can get really paralyzed by that. That woman might say, I don't get out of my house anymore, and I prefer to be in pajamas all day and not even eat. I will get ramen soup, and that's it. Because she felt judged by 10 people. They did an intervention about that. Or she may move to a different city, the flight. Or she will fight and she will tell everybody, fuck off, leave me alone. That's the fight. So observe, what do you do when you feel judged? Which one do you use? The freeze, the flight, or the fight? Because we tend to do one of the three things when we feel an attack. So observe that. How do you react? Remember, when we are putting the energy of anything in our thoughts and our emotions, that's what is going to grow. I know this is, you already know this, but this is just a reminding you, because everything, it is energy. And wherever, again, we're putting the energy, our attention, it's just going to grow. So maybe right now, you don't like the jeans. You don't like that she goes and eat. And if she's divorced, oh, you have another thing. And you're gonna when you continue observing how much you hate that person because she's doing all the things that you cannot do because you don't have the guts to actually do it. So you're just gonna be piling up more and piling up more things and piling up more things to that person because it's growing. You see how the energy start growing? So be aware of that, because if that person, let's say, flight, and they move to a different city. It's like, okay, at least I don't have to see her, how she wears jeans and go to restaurants and so forth, and it's divorce, you know, and she moved. We don't have to deal with that person. But guess what? We did not pass the test because the universe passed you the test so you can observe yourself. What if you're not capable? What if you're not honoring yourself? So we are going to have another person that is going to come to our life, and it's gonna be in jeans, and probably now this time she's gonna be drinking and eating every single day, and probably she's gonna be divorced 3 or 4 times. And now we have to pass the test again. We're in exam. We're in a permanent exam over and over by the universe. And these exams, we put it ourselves in a soul level when we came here. We decided what we were gonna need to learn. And if we do not complete it, that task, those exams in this life, guess what? The next life, it is again the same thing. And I ask you a question. How many lives you've been repeating the same story? Because probably this is not your first one that you're stuck in the same process. When you become your best friend because you fully accept for who you are. I know I am a night person. I'm not a morning person. And I accept myself with that. And I'm not trying to compete with morning persons. Why? Because I am not a morning person. Oops. Oh, I know I'm not a morning person. And why? I'm gonna even try to compete it. I have fully accept who I am. I know I am an artist. I know I'm disorganized. And I have fully accept who I am because I like me. I like who I am. And if someone else do not comprehend and do not understand me and they wanted to judge me, well, it's up to them. I don't care. Why? Because I'm enjoying me. More that we become our friends, You are going to start honoring yourself. You're going to start honoring your own values. You're going to start honoring the person, the amazing human being that you came here to do you, because you came here to pass all these tests. So it is for your best interest that to start honoring yourself. Because remember, the person that is always going to have your best interest, it is not going to be your mom. It is not going to be your siblings. It's not going to be your best friends. It is you. You have the best interest of your own self. Hi everyone, this is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love. And if you have been feeling stuck where you are right now, or if you have felt that you cannot connect with others in the same language or the same emotions that you're feeling, if you're a coach, a healer, energy worker in any of those branches, maybe this is for you, because we have felt the disconnection for the rest of our family, friends, that we cannot connect to them. And we're so afraid to actually go deep dive when we're getting triggered by our own clients because we're seeing our mirror image with them. My name is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love, and that's my spiritual name. And I take clients from feeling confused and feeling stuck to feeling free, to feeling that they feel empowered from themselves. I created a system, Path to the Heart, that goes in 3 levels. And the first level, it is healing the inner child, healing the parts of us that we've been so afraid, or it's very painful to do it. I have done it myself, not only with me, and I have done it with many of my clients, that I take them to this process. The second level, it is to go more into inner self, clearing the family lineage, to breaking the contracts and vows, learning deeper more about the laws of the universe. And the third level, it is learning how to channel, how to do waking up your and getting online your gifts, your unique gifts that the world so much needs right now. So if you wanted to know more about this, I am eager to show you and to teach you all what I know that I use every day in my life. So thank you for being here in this page. I really appreciate it. And this is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love. And just remember that we need to always start observing ourselves, because it is always going to be showing us something, all these tests. So when you're judging someone that you do not comprehend, or you want to change or control, think about that that person in a way is showing you that that person is free. The one it is not free, it is you. And if that person it is not free, that's their deal, that's not yours. When you start honoring yourself, you start at the same time understanding your own mistakes that you have done in the past. We all have a past. We all have done mistakes. We all have carried guilt and shames and blames and so forth. But in the moment you start loving you start forgiving yourself for the past mistakes that you have done. Remember that we always have act with information that we had in this moment. In this moment, I'm telling you this because this is what I believe in this moment. But how it's going to be in 10 years? Probably it's going to be different. How it's going to be in a month? Maybe it's going to be different. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But in this moment, this is what I believe. This is, in my experience, my reality in this moment. And I honor myself in this moment. And that's why I can express this information to you all. So when we become responsible of our own actions, our own emotions, and our own thoughts, we're going to stop judging others as hard as we do right now. Remember that you can lie to everybody, says, I am a great person. I am a great human being. I am a great whatever, whatever, whatever. But the only person that you cannot lie, it is to yourself. So remember that part, that even if we put facades in front of everybody, the real truth, we know it ourselves. And that's where we are free or we are not free. Because when we have a facade, we are not free. We have to live onto that facade that we have created, that we have accepted. Yes, I'm going to be like my mom. My mom told me to be like this and like that. So I have to keep the standards of my mom, you know? And even if I did not agree with my mom, but I believe in that facade because even my mom is not even alive, I'm going to continue with that facade. So remember about those, to be authentic and be you and always be aware of your thoughts, emotions, and actions. So like that, we start honoring ourselves and we don't betray who the person that we are, because or else we're gonna have the victim mentality. And when we have the victim mentality, we're completely powerless. That's what it means, victim mentality. Yes, you might find attention of people feeling sorry for you. But that's what you really want to wake up on others, that people feeling sorry for yourself, because that's a facade that you have to maintain. And that's a lot of work because that's living a lie. Because I don't believe that any of you are victims. You might want to play once in a while, including me, but to maintain that facade, it is exhausting. It is exhausting for any human being that wanted to continuously living that lie, that lie. So I want you to empower you, and to empower you, you have to stop being the victim. Because remember that everybody can harm you if you give them the permission. In the moment that you stop doing what you dream about it, because what other people are gonna think about you. Yes, you can guilt them, but you say, I never wear blue jeans. Going back to the same story, I never wear blue jeans because I did not want to people think that I am a prostitute. I know this sounds ridiculous now, right? Yeah, but say that in the 1900s. It was not ridiculous then. And right now it sounds pretty ridiculous. Like, oh, I don't want to be using blue jeans because I don't want people to judge me. You were not honoring yourself and your emotions. In reality, the blue jeans are gonna define how pure you are or how prostitute you are. The blue jeans. You would not tell that to a woman of the 1900s. You would laugh if you heard something like that because it sounds ridiculous. Well, remember that, yes, you can stop in your dreams, and that's a choice. Or you can actually become free and start being you when you stop being that victim. Because that's when you start making the choice that no one can harm you by their own judgment. Let's put it like this. I work from home at here. And the other day I have an incident about something that I believe someone that break in. I never go out, just pick up from the back door. I go to pick up my daughter and come back and back and forth. But no one see me from in front of the house because I don't use basically that door because I don't go out much. And I have time to time clients that comes to my house for therapies here. And I had a client, male client, that was coming once a week, a young man. And when I asked my neighbors, hey, because we have a text messaging group, have you had problems of someone trying to break in into your backyard and things like that? They tell me, all these ladies tell me, well, you need to be aware who you're bringing to your house. Like these ladies, they first of all, they don't know me. They don't know what I'm doing in my house. They don't know he's my client that I'm giving therapy. I can say, I'm not bringing any more clients to my house. So like that, the neighbors do not think about bad about me. Do I look like I care about what the neighbors think? No, I don't. They're not going to stop me my dream of helping people, being a coach, and having clients over in my house because what are the neighbors are going to think about me? I don't care. Why? Because I'm doing me. I'm doing what I like. I'm coaching people. I'm helping. And if they cannot comprehend, it's not my issue. And then it is the issue. I'm not going to give them permission to tell me what I'm going to do with my own life. So think how many times you give permission to others to harm you or limit you. The judgments of others are really making you free. Because think about that. Because I bet many of you have stopped doing things because you don't want other people to think bad about you. It has happened to all of us. Believe me, I have been there before. Not now. I don't care. Basically, being a victim is when you give the power to others and you go with their beliefs, whatever they have. And if they never see me going to church ever, because I don't go to any church, they're going to think I am a bad woman. That's their beliefs. That's not mine. I don't believe in religion. I believe in God, yes, but I don't believe in religions. And that's a choice that I did. And I'm not a bad person because I don't go to church. That's their own judgment. So I am not gonna feel terrible what they think or they feel about me. And that give me a freedom. So how many things do you do for others for fear of judgment, criticism? How many things do you do for your neighbors? It is limiting you because at the end, judgment, it is just an illusion of a reality that some people can connect to that reality or not because it is a matter of choice at the end. So I'm gonna talk about why people judge and others. So like that, maybe you will find some red flags in there. People tend to judge others when they don't think like you, and you think that's them and that's me. But in reality, we're all one. So if I'm judging that person and trying to limit that person, I'm not wearing the blue jeans again. It's just funny that part. If don't wearing that blue jeans, I'm limiting myself because probably I wanted to wear the blue jeans too. You know what I mean? Or we judge others because we feel superior. I am superior. That's why I'm not gonna wear blue jeans. I'm only gonna wear high heels and skirts and dresses. I feel superior. That's why I'm gonna judge someone. My question to you is, are you really that superior? Because you don't wear blue jeans and high heels. Excuse me. That's not how it works. So we tend to judge others when we don't understand what they're passing through. Remember that every single human being in this planet, they are passing through something or they have passed through something. So if we don't understand what they're passing through, why they do what they do, we're gonna be judging them. So have empathy and compassion for whatever they are. We don't know what it is in the back of the head or what they are passing through. So we judge others also when we feel scared. Let's say if someone is going to be jumping from an airplane, those parachutes that they go, and I'm going to judge them like, how you're going to do that? Would never do something like that. Yeah, because you're scared. That doesn't make it right. Not because you're scared, that means that you're going to limit and control someone to go and jump from an airplane with a parachute. There's people that use that as a sport. Not because you have not done it, because you're scared. That means that you're going to be judging others. So think about that. We judge also what we cannot control. If I cannot control my daughter of not wearing more skirts, let's put it like that, I'm going to be judging her and telling her, oh my God, you're wearing blue jeans and not wearing the skirts. And I'm going to be judging her. My daughter going to continue doing it. So, because I cannot control her, I'm going to be telling her that. Remember that the one that want to control others, it is your ego. It is not never your higher self. Because when we get out of the judgment, that's when we can become the best observers. Or else we're just observing what we can criticize and we feel superior. But when we get out of the judgment, that's when you can become the best observer for your own thoughts and emotions. We judge others. What do we judge in ourselves? That's the last one. So if I don't dare leave my husband or stay with my husband or get married or having a boyfriend or not having a boyfriend or whatever it is, I'm going to be projecting it in others. If I am a seductress and that's who my character is, I'm always flirting with people and things like that, and suddenly I find someone like me that it is a seductress that is always flirting with men and things like that and so forth, I'm gonna see her and I'm gonna judge her. How dare she, it is so flirty, and how dare she is manipulate and control others. When in reality, that's what I do too. Not in my case, but this is an example because I don't like to flirt much. I flirt with my husband a lot. That I do. But that's why I have male friends, because we respect that boundary. Just to clarify. But I was giving you that example because we tend to judge others what we do with ourselves. So remember, what other people think about you, it is a reflection of them, not of you. But you stop doing what you want to do because you're afraid of the judgments of others. So you in reality are judging yourself for are trying to achieve the perfection of others. But never, it's never gonna be enough. You're never gonna be perfect for anyone. So at least accept who you are, because that's where the freedom resides. When you start accepting you. So to clarify, every action has a reaction. And that's what we call the law of karma. But this is one of the laws also of the universe. Every action has a reaction. So therefore, we have to be present and be responsible of every single choice that we do, even if it's judging of others. When we're judging others, we're responsible for the judgment because we're the ones that did it. Every single judgment that we do to others is through a story that we tell in our head. We have a tons of stories that we tell ourselves all the time. And we go through those stories. Oh, yes, I will not wear blue jeans because I remember a prostitute that it was in the corner of that street from the other street. She was a prostitute and she was wearing blue jeans. That's a story. But in reality, who cares if she was or she wasn't? If she's paid you something, a commission or something, why would you care? Is that's her life. That's not yours. We even judge the people that we love more, and we're very hard for them, searching into that perfection that is never achievable. Like our kids, the people that we care, we tend to be harder with them, searching into that perfection. And that's where how the world we have wars because we're judging them. They don't have the right religion. How dare they're Muslims? We're gonna go and send our troops over there and tell them how to live, or because they're not white enough, or because they're not brown enough, or because they're not whatever it is. But that's how racism started, because we feel superior in a way. So thinking those things before you judge others. We can remember that we always have that voice inside of all of us. We have different voices inside of us. We have one voice that is going to pull you up and one voice that is going to pull you down. So think about that when you are judging others, because that voice, it is inside of each person. So each person does what is tell them, oh, you should judge that person, or you shouldn't judge that person, or you're judging yourself. That perfectionism that we always search, it is an inner voice that we're having. But to take back that power for ourselves is becoming aware of what of the and all the things that we have done wrong. So like that, we stop being the victim when we start doing that, and we start owning them. Like, you know what? I was judging that person that he was wearing blue jeans because I thought all the women were prostitutes. I own that. And when you own it, you make a shift in your head about a programming, limiting belief that you had, because now you're giving yourself permission to wear the blue jeans. So remember, in every single choice that you do, what is the limitation you're putting into yourself? Because the other people are going to be them. We cannot change anyone. The only person that we can change, it is ourselves. When I was younger, my family told me that if I make a choice, I cannot change it. That's not what responsible adults do. So thank God I did not fall for that one, because or else I will be stuck in my first marriage that decided he was so super unfaithful. He I discovered that something that he never told me when we got married, that he liked men too. I did not knew that. So if I stick with that choice, it will be horrible, because good women do not get divorced. They are with their husbands until the day they die. And imagine the judgment that many women stay in a terrible marriages because what are the other people were going to think about them? So thinking that, because we don't know what other people are passing through. In fact, no one knows what it is. There's an old Mexican saying that says, no one knows what the pot have except for the spoon that it is mixing it. So why judge others? We are not in their shoes. So give yourself the permission to choose different and the society norms. Choose what it is in your heart and always ask in your heart why I'm judging that person, why that person is triggering me so much. That person is showing me something about me that I need to work with myself. Think about that. So that is a way to empowering you. That's how I empower myself when I start accepting me completely with all my values that I have, not the values that the others put on me and tell me who to be, the values that I have accepted in myself. So I'm gonna give you some exercises. This is a homework that I'm gonna give you. So like that it will help you to process all this and anchor this knowledge of this class about the judgments. So I want you to write in your journal, what are your values? And to remove from and put also in that list of your values, what are the values that you are following that other people tell you that you should have? So let's put it like this. An example will be, if let's go with the blue jeans. I like that one because it's from the 1900s. I like the blue jeans, but I just wanted to clarify that. And I wear them. Okay, let's put it like this. If for my mother, she did not wear blue jeans. Let's put it like that. For my mother, she wanted to judge me because of the blue jeans, and she told me, you should not wear blue jeans because that's only for prostitutes. That would, and I follow that way of thinking or value that my mother has of good women do not wear blue jeans. If I follow that, that's a value that it was imposed for me, and I have accepted that it comes from my mom. It is not even mine, that value. So this is something for you to start getting to know yourself, how many values you're accepting in your life that is not they're not even yours. You might have values of your own. I'm not saying that you don't, but many of the beliefs and the values that you're handling your life, they're not even yours. You just have to accept them. So also I want you to write in your journal, what do you judge in others? And what do you judge in yourself? This is tools so you can get to know yourself better. Because getting to know yourself better, it is how you can create the change. And right when you're judging someone, how would you like to feel? Right? How you want to feel about that? What is in reality is stopping you to achieve what you want? Let's say you want to open a flower shop. Why you want to open the flower shop? You want to open the flower shop because that's something that is in you, or someone told you to open the flower shop, or because you see good woman, they have a flower shop, and that's a value that you have accepted, that it comes from someone else. Because come on, not every single woman that has a flower shop, they're good. They're good and they're bad. You know what I mean? So what is stopping you to even to open the flower shop? What are you doing to what are you doing to achieve your dream? These homeworks are going to be in the document, so like that you can ask yourself all these questions. And I just want to remind you, the ego do not like changes. And it's gonna do whatever it has to do to instigate you fears, to instigate you um, shame and blame and all these kind of things, but victim mentality, because like that is in control over you. Remember that you feel shames and blames and all this kind of lower conscious. What is gonna happen? It is your ego have you in control, or anyone that is doing that to yourself. It is they have you in control. So I would recommend you to do something to you love for yourself, whatever it is. I don't care. Observe how you talk to yourself. Oh, you're getting old. You're getting too ugly or fat. How do you call you? How do you talk to yourself more when you're in front of the mirror? Observe that. And observe it is without the judgment. Remember that we talked about that earlier. Watch how you feel when you're judging others. Why it makes you feel so uncomfortable? What is behind? Because it's talking about you. In reality, it doesn't have to do with the person that you're judging. It has to do with you. Watch how your body reacts to certain things. Oh, I see someone with a blue jeans. That's what my mother would say. And it's like, that's, first of all, it's her issue, but stop. If I would do something like that, it's like, oh, it comes from a memory of my mom. Stop and think. Ask yourself why I'm reacting to that emotion of someone wearing blue jeans. The more honest you are with yourself, you're going to encounter that many of these things are completely ridiculous. So try to be the more honest, because this is your journal for your own inner work. But more honest that you do this inner work, you're going to become more free. Everybody wants to feel empowered, feel free. So be honest. And remember that you today you say, I'm not going to judge anyone. And the next second you judge someone. Like, oh my God, I cannot do this. No, do you ever have the next second to be different? Do you ever have the next day to be different? Doesn't happen. You have to start over again. Start all over again. Nothing is gonna happen. Much love for everybody. This is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love. Thank you.